Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. In the last episode, we talked to Voss and let him know that we have kind of not taken Raphael's offer, and we have other plans about how we might get our hands on the Orphic Hammer. Then we were invited to Gortash's coronation, and we had a little bit of a conversation with Gortash, where he's kind of let us know about the absolute kind of trying to break free of their control because they no longer have all three Netherstones. And what he wants us to do is go after Orin, kill Orin, take Orin's Netherstone, and bring both Ketheric's and Orin's Netherstones back to him, and we'll share power. And it seemed like he was pretty honest about it. So, it's an option. We're probably not going to take it, but it's an option out there. We'll keep those options open. So, we have some things to think about. We are now in the lower city. We now have the entire lower city to explore. But we're also informed that we have a shape changer infiltrating our camp. And we met Mizora, who wants to talk to us about Will's father in our camp. So, let's do that. Now, there are two additions to our camp that just recently showed up. Grub and Yenna.
One day I'll catch a break.
But please, don't look at me.
I brought my own paring knife. Now I just need some ingredients, and I'm gonna make something really good, I promise.
Okay. Withers, have you anything to say?
Fate spins along as it should.
Apparently
Dost
not.
thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a
No. The question is, do I want to put Astarion back on the bench and get Halsin back out for a little bit more? We haven't really done much with Halsin yet. I think so.
Gods, this is the first time in 200 years I've seen these streets in the sunlight. You can forget just how much color there is in the world.
You alright?
Yes, of course. Obviously. Sorry, did you want something?
Yes. Take a break.
Darling, I'm hurt. I thought we had some... It sounds...
Yeah. Same lines as always. There's Dame Aylin and Isabel. You know, chat with them, see if they have anything new to say. Anything new to say, Lae'zel?
This is the city proper, is it? I didn't expect it to be so outrageously ordinary.
It's a city. This Orphic Hammer could be a way to release Orpheus from his prison.
This hammer, could it be? Yes, yes! This is how we will free the Prince of the Comet! This is the key Voss so ardently and courageously sought. That smug shkaketh of a devil stores it at his vaunted House of Hope. Our destination is clear, our mission undeniable. We must find a way into the House of Hope and retrieve the hammer. When we next enter the Astral Prism, we will use it to smash Prince Orpheus out of his prison. Mother Gith, hear my promise. Your son will rise again. The Prince of the Comet will crush the Lich Queen Vlaakith and usher in the Age of Orpheus.
All right, then. We'll leave that alone for now. Yeah, there's Will. Shadowheart, anything new to say?
Baldur's Gate. You know, I never quite believed I'd actually make it back. Wasn't until we got within reach of Worm's Crossing that it felt real. It's so strange. I don't remember much of it, yet I can't help feel like I know it. It feels like home.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
I suppose it is. Though the chance to savor the moment might be brief, given all that still lies ahead of us. I may have to rely on your local knowledge to plug the gaps in my own mind. Hopefully, I'll remember more than I expect to.
Alright, the Sharons are using a place called the House of Grief as cover for their presence at Baldur's Gate.
Then that's where we need to go. My parents are in there somewhere.
Yep, we'll get there. I'll bear cub. Do you have anything new to say?
You smell very delicious, but I will not bite you.
Okay, nothing new to say. And we've already pet the cub a couple of times. Olsen.
I received a dispatch from the Grove. Life carries on there in our absence, just as nature intended. My chosen successor, Francesca, has proven to be a wise choice. Perhaps the wisest I ever made as Archdruid.
Don't downplay your achievements. The Shadow Curse will still hold sway if not for you.
One grand victory may not be enough to absolve a host of small failures. That is where true leadership lies. Not in winning a single vast battle, but in fighting 1,000 smaller ones. Making 10,000 difficult decisions. Finding balance where none seems possible. Day after day. I was all too eager to surrender my responsibilities towards the Grove. Perhaps I was never meant to be Archdruid. To be a leader.
Alright, you served the Grove well and found a worthy successor. None can ask more of you.
Still, though, I cannot help but wonder if there was more I could have done. Perhaps, Oakfather willing, I may yet have the chance someday. Forgive me. The Shadow Curse occupied me so entirely and for so long. I almost missed the purpose it gave me. Now I must find a new one.
Alright.
Then you'll have me. Lead on.
Welcome back aboard. Alright. Will.
Your tadpole quivers, revealing your discussion with Mazora to Will.
Shit. Father's been taken, and Mazora started to scheme. By all the hounds of the hells, what is she planning?
You know where Gortash has taken your father?
I couldn't even fathom a guess. Though, I doubt we'll need to wait long for answers. We'll have answers soon enough. Let's talk to Mazora. Until then, may my father keep safe, whatever coop he's been flown to.
Seems Grand Duke Stelmane's been murdered. Did you know her at all?
I met her twice. The first time, I was a boy of 7 or 8, at a banquet in the Flaming Fist's honor. One look and I was smitten. Chestnut hair that flowed behind her like willow fronds, as she floated from one room to the next as if carried by clouds. The second time, Stelmane was different. Even with the aid of a cane, each step she took was a struggle. Every word she spoke took great physical effort. A stroke victim? I asked Father later. No, he said. A stroke survivor.
You sense uncertainty in Will's voice. He questions his father's explanation.
I sense there's something more to the story.
Something's always gnawed at me. At the banquet, Stelmane didn't seem to look at us, but through us. But that second time, her gaze never left me. It was steel, sharp and unyielding. It could just be my imagination, but I always felt that it was more than a stroke that had changed her. What, though? I couldn't say.
If Stelmane was suffering, maybe death was a blessing.
Nonsense. Stelmane was no less worthy of life or success because she was disabled. Her death is no blessing. It is a calculated cruelty. Think about it. My father was tadpoled. Stelmane is dead. The people are frightened and the council's in disarray. To exert control, you must first sow chaos. A tyrant's strategy, as father would say. These murders aren't random acts. Someone powerful is guiding the killer's hand, and the city is made weaker for it.
All right, then. Well, I guess we're going to have to long rest if we want to have a chat with Mizora. Do you hear her?
Ah, I've had a lifetime's fill of watching little men puff themselves up with grand titles. I look forward to the day we show the Archduke that his tongue is not half so silvered as he thinks.
As do I, but we agreed to deal with Orin first.
We need all 3 stones to command the brain. It matters little in what order we obtain them, or how. Still, if you see sense in making an alliance, I won't question it. I'll just look forward to the inevitable breaking Gortash spoke of.
What do you think of his warning of this doppelganger in our camp?
A Harper learns to doubt. To peer through every smile, question every look. Eventually, you find what it is you fear, whether it is there or not. When we cannot know, we can only trust. But then, that is exactly what a traitor in our midst would say. Isn't it?
Alright. How are you faring without your Harpers?
You think me lonely? In truth, I prefer travel in a small pack such as this. Unburdened by numbers, we're free to act rather than react. A little like the old days. With allies every bit as peculiar. Give or take a few tadpoles.
Alright. Your experience will be an asset.
A kind way of saying, ye gods, I hope her dusty bones don't break at the first blow. Fear not for me. I will try my very best to keep up.
Alright. Let's go ahead and end the day and see what Mizora has to say.
Sorore surge, testis esto pacti me. Come, sisters, be my testament. Notum sit in Beator.
Notum sit in Beator.
Holy hells.
And we failed an Arcana check. Oh well. Just what are you up to?
I come to bargain. The hells demand witness.
Your parasite links with Will's, and your memories flow into him. He sees his father's flight from Worm's Rock, and hears Mizora's words to you.
Shit. Where did Gortash send my father? How do I save him?
Sisters.
Infernos contractos te vocamos. Infernos contractos te vocamos. Infernos contractos te vocamos.
Your contract, Will. Signed in blood, forged in fire, bound in bone, but not unbreakable.
What are you proposing?
A life for a life. No contract is ended without sacrifice. The cost must be paid. Will Ravengard, a choice is before you. Option 1. I show you the way to your father. I guarantee him no harm except that from you and your allies. And you pledge your soul to me and the Archdevil Zariel in a pact eternal. Option 2. I break your pact and you are freed from your duty. Your father dies by his enemy's hand, and Baldur's Gate loses its greatest champion. Name your sacrifice.
Bloody Zariel! I won't let her take Will.
Silence, Karlak.
Mizora, you asshole!
Choose.
So what will happen to Will's powers if he breaks the pact?
Addendum F. The Absolute must be avenged for the Soulbinder's detention at Moonrise. The Soulbearer retains his gifts until such time as the Absolute is slain.
Okay. I think I'm going to tell him to break the pact. We'll find another way to rescue his father.
You damned wretch! Father. Do it. Break the pact.
Fiat Ita.
Fiat ita. Anima ad beator.
Didn't think you had it in you. Seems my boy's all grown up. And don't go fussing about your father. You made your choice. You knew the terms. You know what? I think I'll stick around. Not for the greater good, you understand. Just for the entertainment.
All right, then. We should probably go chat with Will. And there's Mizora. All right, Will.
Gods, I spent 7 years choked by Mizora's leash. And I spent 7 years hoping to break free. I never knew freedom could taste so bittersweet.
Your own man now, Will? It's better this way.
I have to believe that. I'm not the Hell's puppet in life, nor its warrior in death. The blade will be guiding his own hand. But freedom will be paid in my father's blood. Tomorrow, I celebrate my gain. Today, I mourn my loss.
A moment passes. In the stillness, you find a mote of tranquility.
The Raven Guard name now lives solely with me. I will make it count for something.
Your father's not dead yet, Will. Maybe there's a way to save him.
I signed his life away before the Hell's witnesses. It would be easier to drink the sticks down to the last drop than to alter his fate. I'd be a fool to wish otherwise.
All right, next step.
We obtain the final 2 nether stones and take back our minds and the city from the brain.
All right. And Mizora.
Little Will's all grown up. I can't wait to see what trouble he gets into.
You forced Will to make an impossible choice.
Impossible? My bargain was uncommonly reasonable. A single soul for the return of Baldur's Gate's most beloved duke. A real bargain, I should think. I never thought the legendary Blade of Frontiers would surrender his father for freedom. Not very valorous, if you ask me. But what does a mean old devil like me know about heroes?
You left Karlach alone. Didn't you want her dead? What changed?
You are an inquisitive one. I'd have thought you'd figured by now. Zariel found new use for an old battle axe. The dead 3 in that bulging brain of theirs are a threat to more than this trifling city, you know. Savor her company. Who's to say when Zariel might change her mind? My mistress can be so capricious.
You never told me how the Absolutists captured you.
Correct. I didn't. If you must know, I was scouting the cultists on behalf of Zariel, but those cursed shadows were thick enough to fell even a half-fiend. I woke in that damned pod. It kept my body sealed and my most powerful magic silenced. But a brave, kind, benevolent soul set me free. Gallantry isn't dead, after all.
If you're going to be staying, I need something in return.
Why? I'm supplying Will with every scrap of his infernal power. I've paid my dues many times over. I tell you what, when the time comes to squish that big baddie of a brain, I'll lend you a hand.
Very well. Alright. Let's rest up, and then, see what other trouble we can get into. Emperor.
How did you? Oh, it's you. I must have let my mind wander. Enough for you to wander in. Forgive me. I am drained. Ever since you killed Ketheric and took his netherstone, the Chosen's control of the brain has been brittle. Its rebellion against Orin and Gortash has been fierce, even as it executes their final orders. Once those orders are complete, there is a good chance it will break free.
You feel the Emperor's fear as if it were your own. An elder brain enslaved is one thing. An elder brain unleashed will be the end of everything.
Beautiful, isn't it? The mighty Prince Orpheus, contained in submissive slumber. Come. You may as well sit a while, now that you are here. Your company isn't unwelcome.
But you to be more on guard this close to the brain.
You are correct. I should be. I'm haunted by memories. They are relentless. I can think of nothing. No one else.
Someone from your past?
Indeed. Duke Stelmane. Or as I knew her, Berlin, when she was alive. You thought you were my first ally. Far from it. I have long sought the allyship of others. It is the only way to succeed. Though my relationship with Berlin was different from my relationship with
you. How so?
In life, she was my business partner. Back when we ran the Knights of the Shield. A difficult task for a Mind Flayer. Duke Stelmane trusted me, and the city trusted her. I conceived the plot, but Berlin took center stage. It was she who met with the merchants, politicians, and patriarchs. It was she who negotiated deals and signed off on agreements. Her rooms played host to the most important conversations in the city. Together, we brought order to chaos. At its height, everything that happened in that city went through the shield. Through us. I could not have done any of it without her. Just as I cannot do any of this without you. But now, she is gone.
If I didn't know you were a Mind Flayer, I'd say you were upset.
Astute as ever. You think that Mind Flayers are soulless husks who feel nothing. Berlin thought the same at first. You are wrong. Feeling is vital to the pursuit of anyone's goals. Even the Mind Flayers. Like you, Mind Flayers know fear. Like you, we crave recognition. But unlike you, unlike the others of my kind, I am no slave to either. My end is and always has been freedom. Berlin understood this. Berlin became my freedom.
Don't let your guard down again.
I won't, but I could do with your assistance. You remain attached to your physical form. I suggest you shed that attachment. We will do better against the Elder Brain the more illithid we both are. Another quake. The brain is rebelling again. I need to focus.
All right, rested, cleaned up, and ready to go. Finally. And Holson wants to chat.
I had hoped there might be a greater sense of balance within the city. That its walls might enable sheltering within it to foster community, peace. Yet it is not so. Unnatural steel beings patrol the streets. The printed word sows discontent, and those in need are treated with disdain. Is this truly what progress looks like? Sometimes it is difficult to see exactly what we are fighting to save here. Sometimes it feels like Korga was right. Nature can only survive away from all this.
I don't think you'd really feel that way.
I do. But at times like this, it can feel like an impossible dream. I was harsh on myself before. On my leadership of the Grove. The decisions I made. Perhaps too harsh, considering this place.
All right. Let's see. Where do we want to head first? All of our quests are over this direction. I'm guessing, yeah, we can't go that way. The way we came through. Fist?
I don't like this. I don't like the look in some of their eyes.
Augur.
You two must submit to Lord Gortash if you are to be saved.
Okay. The Elf Song Tavern.
A reminder that this isn't the Blushing Mermaid. Any roughhousing and you're out.
Lacrissa.
Well, well, look what the bugbear dragged in. Can't believe we both made it to the city, and with our limbs attached.
Never pictured you as a barmaid.
Well, I'd pick this over Moonrise, as delightful as that was. Alan is short on coppers. The counting house is screwing him over. He was willing to hire anyone who'd work for cheap. And I'm nothing if not cheap.
Where's Alfira? The two of you are usually together, no?
Check the roof. But you didn't hear that from me.
Alright. You have stuff to trade? Just some food. Okay. We don't need food.
Break time. Heading to the roof. Sort your own drinks in the meantime.
There's something in there. Talk to Alan.
Aye, aye. Pull up a seat. If you can find one spare, that is.
Business doing well.
With all this talk of war, what else are folk to do but drink? I reckon the murder we'd had something to do with it too. Got punters all intrigued. On that morbid note, what can I get you fine self?
Looking for a place to stay.
I tell you what, the murder upstairs has brought some punters, but it's also really spooked folk out of renting rooms. If we get you staying up there, perhaps folk will calm down and realise there's naught to worry about. You can have the whole upstairs floor until this killer thing blows over.
Sure.
Top floor's all yours. If it gets a bit too noisy at night, well, don't sleep above a pub.
Now there's something over here. Harvard.
Hey, smart stuff. I'm Willoughby, the comedian. And we got a little contest here called the Laugh Riot. You want to play along?
I'm a bard, Willoughby. We do have bard. Prepare to get served.
Great! I'll go first to show you how it's done, and then you can see if you can top me. Hello, Baldurians! You know, I wouldn't be here tonight, except my wife ran off with a cambium. That's right. I got fiend zoned. We used to have a drow comedian. I had to ask her to stop casting Tasha's hideous laughter on the audience. Then I asked her how many drow it takes to light a torch, and she said, none. We have dark vision. So I killed her.
The elf song patrons think that one's funny. There may be hope for you yet.
Yeah.
Your turn, smart stuff. Knock 'em dead, but not literally. Got me?
Hmm. What's the difference between a dwarf and a boulette? You can't toss the boulette.
Adequate, but no better.
What do you call a room full of people who don't applaud? Dead. You know why I hate vampires? They just suck.
I first heard that one when I was in short pants on the school playground.
Surprised I'm not getting any bard. Maybe I just don't have enough levels of bard. Mind Flayer's Dwergar slave lost his nose, so I asked the Illithid, how does he smell? And it said, I have eaten its brain. Now, they did 3, am I right? What losers? You know why Bane worshippers will never conquer the world? They don't have the balls.
Don't joke about religion, smart stuff.
A single person applauds from the back of the room, probably out of pity.
Sorry, smart stuff. No joy for you, I'm afraid. But that sounds like job security for me.
Didn't really have any good options.
Why she was fooling around with a wizard. She said,
Alright, so we have the rooms upstairs. There's a cat over there.
Oh, look, Tambourine. A servant comes to help us. Oh, kill those rats, would you? When they're dead, the other servants will feed us.
Okay, you want me to do your job for you? Alright.
Hold up, citizen. This is a crime scene. No admittance.
Devella's finished.
Stelmane's Parlor. A place to receive clients and informants. I wonder if it's as I remember it.
Let's take a look.
Bollocks! I told those idiots not to let anyone through. You. Name, rank, and reason for interrupting an active crime scene. For your sake, the last one better be bloody good.
Are you Divella? Valeria sent me.
To fetch her another bottle of mead, no doubt. Yes, I'm Divella, the unfortunate colleague. Unless you've got useful information, leave me to my work. Duke Stelmane's dead, and I've got to find who killed her.
Alright. We'll tell her about the murder target list we found.
Gods. That's it. Proof that I was right. I've been working on an assignment, see? A research project of sorts. I knew my conclusions were sound. But this... I never expected this. I'll tell you what I know. A century ago, there was a man. Saravok Anchev. He was a child of the god of murder, Baal. He ruled the Iron Throne, a dark tower hiding a darker secret. It was the front for a deadly arms-dealing network. There, Saravok amassed an army and sought to become a god. Under his stewardship, the Baal temple was revived. And with it, the Baal cult itself. Fortunately, the temple was destroyed. And to cleanse the city of Saravok's memory, the Iron Throne was torn from its foundations and cast into the Chionthal. For most, that was the end of it. But cults like that don't disappear overnight. That list you spoke of confirms I'm right. The Baal cult is back. And someone is out there, continuing Saravok's work.
Baal has a new chosen in Baldur's Gate, Orin. I suspect she's behind this.
God save us all if you're right. But I believe it. Whoever it is, they're intimately familiar with Saravok's work. The brutality of the killings is on a par with Saravok's own. But there's something more here. Something new. There's a reverence to these murders. A certain flair. It's as if they were done in worship. The precision of the cuts. The depth, the execution. The best butchers in Faerun couldn't make a cut like that. Trust me, I've asked them. I tried to explain all this to my superiors, but they wouldn't have any of it. They told me to drop it. Told me the city doesn't need another conspiracy theorist and to get back to doing my job before they find someone else to do it for me. But you're not bound by such constraints. Oh, help me out here. Help the city out. I bet if you follow the trail of these murders, you'll be able to unearth the truth of this resurgence.
All right. What about the other victims on the list, the ones who are still alive?
There are patriarchs on the murder target list. I'm oathbound to secure them first, so I'll be heading to the upper city next. While I'm there, the other potential victims will be at risk. Could you warn them?
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. That's all I can ask, and more than I hoped. Once I'm done with the Patriarchs, I'll head to Basilisk Gate to have another go at convincing my superiors to put some resources into this matter. Meet me there if you've anything more to report. And good luck.
Alright, so this is my rented room. Alright. And I think this is where we're going to go ahead and end the episode. And we'll keep poking around. But for now, we'll stop here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.